Marcus, who was out celebrating his birthday right now, we were having a great conversation because he bought about $200,000 worth of vehicles by putting $500 down out of pocket. Okay, so Marcus is expanding his appliance repair business into another city, and to do that, he had to have more vehicles. And so he was able to go down because, it's a shortage down there in everything right now. And so he needed to have some mini SUVs ready to go for his 3 new employees he just hired. So he went down and was able to not only sign up and get the 3 new vehicles for his current employees, but to future date the 3 extra vehicles when he expands to another city. And that got me thinking, like, dude, that is the perfect example of using credit to create an asset versus a liability. Okay. A lot of times people will brag about getting their credit up to 780, 700, 800, whatever the case may be. And they're going, so they can go get that new Mercedes or go get, whatever, that new Birkin bag, take that trip, whatever the case may be. And don't get me wrong. It's nothing wrong with treating yourself if you've worked hard.
No, nothing wrong with it at all.
Nothing wrong with that. But I think there's a psyche we have around it, and it goes hand in hand with what you were talking about, Devontae, along with fear. I think we have the psyche that when we get credit, we think credit can be bad, and this thing that makes us nervous is because we aren't looking at using it right. Whereas, like, perfect what Marcus is doing, that's an investment. That's going to instantly bring him in money, and those vehicles are going to pay for themselves as those workers go out and do jobs for their appliance company. Okay. And I think that's a big thing. It is so weird because the discipline and psyche of having good credit go hand in hand with building and creating versus having a fear and a bad psyche around credit and putting yourself in the hole.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. I think an even worse predicament is just to get the credit score, just so you can say I have a good credit score.
Right.
Like, what are you doing with that credit score? You got a 800, but what are you actually doing with that credit score? It's like you really don't need an 800. You don't really need 800. I mean, it's good to have an 800. I'm saying if you can have an 800 and you can also do what we're talking about as far as looking at this as a tool to leverage, that's really, really good. But if you got like a 750, 700, and sometimes in cases, you don't even need that. You can get by on 600, but you got other things that are working on your behalf to support your profile. So credit is one, your credit score is one part of the profile when you're going to get a loan. But they also look at your history. They look at what kind of types of loans you've managed in the past. They're looking at your revenue, the income, your income. They're looking at a lot of things. They're looking at, a thing over history, So it's not just like, I got a good credit score, I'm ready to go. You can have a great credit score and have no money coming in, and you still, and not the best predicament. And you can have a horrible credit score, but you got like assets and you got things moving, you got a lot of things on your working for you that's going to help your profile out. So having a credit score, a good credit score alone is not going to seal the deal.
I think that's great. You're pointing out the aspects that I think a lot of people don't know because you're not taught that. There's all these other incremental things that go along with having good credit. And if you're getting to a space, which I know a lot of our viewers are people that are looking to either build a business, have a business, or expand a business.
Yeah.
These are things that you need to know and figure out, because these are the additional things that someone that works at a financial institution is going to look at when they're making the decision to hand over $100,000 check.
Right.
And if you don't know this, you're going to kind of be behind the 8 ball.